starting now. Hi everyone and good afternoon. Thank you for coming to the Hurt Computing 2020 info session. My sister Ria and I will now share information about our coding camp. First, we have a short presentation, and then we'll answer questions that parents have submitted in advance. And finally, we'll take more questions from everyone else. Okay, Ria, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Ria Tiagi, and I've been coding since elementary school. I specialize in web development and PHP, and also love teaching Scratch. Aside from coding, I appreciate quantum mechanics and enjoy exploring the potential of quantum computing using Google.
I'm not a quantum physics person like Ria is, but I have been coding since 4th grade, and I specialize in machine learning and artificial intelligence. I'm also a coder on the Milburn High School robotics team, which qualified for the World Championships last year and were runners-up at the New Jersey State Championship. Earlier this year, Ria and I participated in multiple hackathons. We placed top 5 at Hack MHS and were finalists at a global hackathon. In addition, we were also recipients of the Youngest Developer Award. What we believe. Ria and I are both big fans of Apple's CEO, Tim Cook. We think that coding should be required in every school starting from kindergarten. It is as important as a second language.
Camp logistics. We will be using Zoom Pro to host our camp, and we'll send you all a unique password-protected link to access the classroom. There will be one instructor in each class, and TAs such that the ratio of student to staff is 5:1. For game development and web development class, students need to have access to a Chromebook or another laptop, like PC or a Mac, that has a webcam, microphone, speakers, and internet connection. For the machine learning course, students will require the same, but must use a PC or Mac because local installation needs to be done. Now, a day in the life of a student. All students and staff will be keeping their cameras on throughout the session. Students will raise their hand via Zoom options or be able to ask questions directly. During the first part of the class, we will be learning concepts and reviewing code. In the second part, students will break out into separate digital rooms of 4 to 5 students with a TA/instructor for personalized attention. They will work on applying the concepts learned and creating projects. The instructor/TAs will have access to all students' code in real time to review and guide their work and ensure they are progressing per the curriculum. During the last 15 minutes of class, we will be reviewing concepts via friendly online competitions and tournaments using Gimkit. Finally, 12 to 12:30 is optional to attend. Here, students from the morning session and afternoon session can come together for fun activities such as chess tournaments, video game competitions, origami, and Rubik's Cube solving. Courses available. We have 3 courses for students to choose from. For each of these classes, no outside or parent assistance is necessary. First, we have game development. No previous coding experience is required for this class. Second, web development. Some early experience is helpful, but it is not required. And finally, machine learning and AI. Basic programming experience and knowledge is required for this course. All for the morning and afternoon sessions from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. Now for our first course. It's a beginner course and it's game development with CS First. There are no prerequisite skills for this course. In the CS First beginner course, our students will learn essential game development concepts and strategies. Through a series of 9 games, they will practice scorekeeping, making storylines, scrolling backdrops, building single-player and multiplayer games, adding levels, and using game conditions and effects. During this process, they will grasp essential computer science concepts such as loops, events and conditions, and data structures such as variables and objects. A few examples of games that we will build are pictured above. On the final day of the camp, students will apply their new knowledge and creativity to build customized games, such as the intuitive Brick Breaker one on the bottom right. Through our fun projects and application-focused curriculum, we make sure each child is engaged and hooked to programming, so that they continue their computer science journeys even after camp is over. Now our next course is a beginner to intermediate course. It's web development. And through this web development course, students will touch upon foundational web development concepts. They will then learn various website layout options and also delve into jQuery and JavaScript. Students will complete the course with a fully interactive website, a real-time COVID statistics page, and a functional calculator, pictured above. Like the game development class, this class will be very application-oriented, full of fun and engaging projects for the students to complete.
Our third course is Machine Learning with Python. In this course, our students will learn essential computer science concepts such as object-oriented programming, classes, and functions. We will also learn about the application of various machine learning algorithms. Through a series of 5 projects, students will write back-end programs that can be used to solve real-world problems and display data in an efficient and aesthetically pleasing manner. A few examples of projects that we will build in this class include analyzing movie ratings using text classification and classifying different types of clothes using image recognition. The amazing thing about my machine learning class is that very little programming knowledge is needed to build incredibly cool and useful applications. Finally, here is some additional camp information. We have 2 sessions with AM and PM classes. The cost is $99 for 15 hours of classes per week. We also understand that some parents are nervous about the effectiveness of online classes. So we want to offer a 100% refund after the first day if the class does not work out for you or your child. All proceeds from this camp will go to fundraising for inclusion in technology.
The funds we raised from our coding camp last summer were used to refurbish a computer lab in the Valley Settlement House in West Orange and host an awesome after-school coding club for the kids. You can see a picture of all of them above with their new computers.
That's all we have for the presentation. Thank you to all the parents who submitted questions in advance. We will first answer those and then take more questions.
Well, we have put I just put the registration and website link in the chat. Let me do that right now. So you guys can all check that out while we answer questions. If you have any more questions, you can just put them into the chat and we will look at those as well.
Okay, so the first question we got was, does my child need any prior coding experience and how many students are in a session? So our course curriculum has been specifically designed to make sure we can accommodate kids of all coding backgrounds. Our game development class using CS First is our beginner level course and covers basic programming concepts. There will be a 5-to-1 student to staff ratio for all classes. The second question was, how can we prepare our 6 and 8-year-old for the game development class, mentally and digitally? Mentally, little preparation is required and there are no prerequisite skills. To make the day go more smoothly, you can set them up with a quiet working area, a computer, snacks, water, and a ready-to-go lunch. Digitally, ensure that your children understand how to connect to Zoom or our sessions will be hosted. Our third question is, the child has not been exposed, the parents will not be able to assist. Is this the right camp? In fact, we have a beginner level course, Game Development with CS First, where no coding experience is necessary. We will guide each child every step of the way. In addition, all instructors and staff members will have access to everyone's code at all times. Last year, we had many first grade students who thrived in the game development course without outside assistance.
Okay, so next we have this question. How will you ensure that all children are keeping up with the material and not falling behind? All instructors/TAs will have access to all students' code in real time to review and ensure they are progressing per the curriculum. We will also be doing daily review sessions via friendly online competitions and tournaments. In addition, students will raise their hands via Zoom options or be able to ask questions directly if they have any struggles. So finally, how will all the students stay engaged throughout the class? Every day there will be multiple fun activities where students will get to interact with each other and solve problems and compete with each other in a friendly environment. Throughout the class, students will have their cameras on and will be constantly interacting with their fellow classmates. We are also following a project-based curriculum which is meant to excite our students. They will not get caught up in the theory, which can often be complicated and uninteresting. In addition, students from both the morning and afternoon sessions can join us during lunchtime for fun activities like games, chess competitions, and the like.
So this is one of the questions we got from the chat is, do the children need to be present for the entire 3-hour session? So the 3-hour session, so if they're present for the whole session, we'll make sure that they're, if the child is present, they'll be learning all the material. So if your child is unable to attend for the 3-hour session, they might miss some important material and then might fall behind. And then,
I know you're just mentioning in the chat that it was a long time to have a 7-year-old to focus based on your experience. Yeah, we definitely agree. That's why we've tried our best to make this camp as engaging and every child is interacting and not just behind a screen. So if your child can't, if your child can't attend, Tanish basically said they will miss some content, but we will do our best to catch them up. And we can, if they just stay for the concepts piece of it, they can read over the projects or do a little bit less and still get a lot out of the camp.
So another question was, can you please repeat the time and days again? So let me just, so this first session is from July 20 to 24, and the second session is from July 27 to 31. And the schedule is, so each week we'll have 2 classes. We'll have a 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. session and a 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. session. So let's see here. Another question is, will there be any material for review pre and post sessions or any books suggested? So after, for a lot of the days, so for example, in the web development class, there's a lot of different, when we cover API calls, there are a lot of different APIs. So afterwards, the instructor may offer extra material or maybe some websites that the students can check out if they're confused or if they just want to learn more. So, but there's not really any books suggested. All the learning and all the concepts and the theory will be covered throughout the 3-hour session for each day.
Yeah, so no extra work. You guys just bring your child and they'll learn everything.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
Does anyone have any other questions? Just feel free to turn on your microphone as well.
See here. So this question is, what will they learn in the first class?
Here, why don't I answer that?
Yeah, okay.
I'm the instructor. Okay. Yeah, so I'm the instructor for this class. So Tanish, do you want to go back to the slide for that class quickly?
Yes.
Just so we can show you.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just going through, they're going to be learning various essential like game development concepts. You can look at the screen, scorekeeping, creating characters, multiplayer games, conditions, advanced effects. And using these skills, they're also going to be applying these for general coding knowledge, like loops, events and conditions, data structures. You can see a few examples of the games people have built in the past on the side. Yeah, so the students are building 9 games and learning various concepts. And I think the one thing we ensure with this class, especially since it's younger students, is that each child is engaged and hooked to programming.
Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Feel free to turn on your mic, ask it. Don't hesitate.
I have a question. So will there be material along with the class so parents can review it with kids after the class?
We definitely can. We will be sharing. There won't be like a lot of material, but if a parent or a student is like confused about a certain concept, we will share material with that student and parent to ensure that the student is not falling behind, or so they can keep progressing on with the class.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And then another question is, how do parents keep up with what the kids are doing? So every day, so after, during the class, when the kids are building the stuff, the parents can sit with the kid and see what they're building to make sure that their kid is progressing. But really, it's there's also multiple. If a kid is struggling, we can definitely we'll reach out to the parent asking if we can set up like one-on-one time with the kid to make sure that he's not falling behind, or so he can keep progressing on.
Okay, so I'm going to answer the next one. The question is, could you please share a couple of websites developed by the kids in last year's session? So I just want to make 2 things clear. We just don't have the websites like right now with us, but I guess we could send a few to you after the session. Personally, another thing we just want to make sure is that this session for web development this year is very different from last year. Last year we taught a more basic version. This time we're advancing and going beyond. So you won't get like the full picture, but you'll get a general idea. I can also share with you some more of the projects that we're going to be building, or the website that I built as an example.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Anyone? See.
Okay, so if you don't have much else, I'll repost the link to register and the link to the website so they can be at the very front. Here you go. So you guys can check that out. And yeah, thank you everyone for attending this session. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to email hercomputing@gmail.com. We will respond to all questions asked.
This is great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day, everyone.
Helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanish and Ria.
No
That was a very
problem.
informative session.
Our pleasure. Yeah,